I wish that we did not have to assemble on these steps today. Instead, I wish we were in communities across Georgia, asking folks to do their civic duty by going out to vote. But instead of focusing just on that effort, we are here again today to demand an answer from this Secretary of State as to why 40,000 Georgians are not on the rolls. 40,000 Georgians who applied, who were eligible, some whom applied prior to the primary and fully expected to participate in selecting candidates of their choice for the general election, many of whom did not get to exercise that privilege. All who applied prior to the October 6th deadline, all who fully expect to participate as electors in this very closely contested race for the Senate, for the governor's mansion, and for the control of this state for the next generation. Voting began in Georgia on October 12th in some places. Those Georgians have been denied access. Voting continues today. Those voters are still denied access. On Friday, lawyers for the New Georgia Project and for the NAACP, lawyers from the Lawyers Committee under Civil Rights, as well as lawyers for the NAACP, including myself, argued before Judge Rasher in the Superior Court of Fulton County that that is simply unacceptable, that the Secretary of State must do his job. But with a straight face, the Secretary of State, through his counsel, argued that the statute gives him no specific duty. That if he did have a specific duty as the chief elections official in this state, that it gave him no specific deadline by which to do it. We say to this Secretary of State, yes, you did want to be Agriculture Secretary, but we know shoveling manure when we see it. And that's exactly what he's doing, shoveling manure. As the chief elections official for the state, he controls the apparatus and instrumentality by which those hard-working county elections officials determine eligibility. For him to kick the can to county election officials is to do a disservice to the office of Secretary of State. If he doesn't want to do his job, then he should get out of the way. He should stand up and do his job. Through his counsel, he argued that our efforts, our litigation was frivolous, and we didn't seek to meet with him and discuss these problems. We say bullshit. It was not but several weeks ago that we marched nearly 52,000 voter registration applications from this same spot over to his office. And we sat and waited. And his staff promised a meeting, and he came out finally and promised a meeting. To this day, he's hid behind accusations of fraud. He's hid behind the elections board. He's hid behind the doors of his office. But today, the people have had enough. If the Secretary of State, Brian Kemp, won't come to us, won't meet with us, then we'll go in and sit until he comes. And so we stand here today with the New Georgia Project, with Moral Money, with the American Friends Service Committee, with labor, with organized education, with workers, with those who believe that Georgia deserves better. We are here to stop an election from being stolen. 2004, 2008, 2012, we didn't have the technology technology. We didn't have the manpower nor the organization. We only knew there were problems when the lines got long on election day. When people were denied, their names weren't on rolls. But thank God for the New Georgia Project. They have brought in technology and staff and organization that have allowed us to catch this Secretary of State with his hands in the cookie jar. He thought he would steal 40,000 votes as a safety net for his political goons to maintain power in Georgia. Well, he'll have a rude awakening come election day. We will not let that happen. But I think the Secretary of State needs to give us some answers today.
Yes.
You think the Secretary of State deserves to give us some answers?
Yes.
You think the Secretary of State should give an account for the 40,000 voters who vanished off the roll? You think we can stop this election while it's being stolen? To catch him with his hands in the cookie jar? Then I think we'll take our message to the Secretary of State's office. Because in the real sense, even Chief Justice John Roberts said this about the vote. That is sacred. That is cumulative and preservative of all other rights. For it is through the right to vote that we elect representatives to speak in this democracy. It's through the right to vote we determine the allocations of budgets. It's through the right to vote we set the direction of education. It's through the right to vote that we determine what is a livable wage in Georgia. It's through the right to vote that we determine that every American, every Georgian deserves the basic decency of being able to be with the person they love in marriage. It's through the right to vote. And so we seek to preserve that right. And we seek to join freedom fighters who spilled their blood, who shed tears, and risked their lives fighting for it. And in this cause, we will be heard.
Amen.
Let us vote! 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 Let us vote!
I don't know whether they threw him in the garbage or what, but we brought him every single application we had a problem about. And the press saw it. They said, well, aren't you grandstanding today? We've sent letters. I've delivered them myself. We've made phone calls. We've sent overtures. Even in court, we still said, let's sit down and talk about this. And the Secretary of State has been too busy to talk with us. Not too busy to raise money on the campaign trail, but too busy to talk with us. So, to the accusations of grandstanding, I say, yes, there has been some grandstanding, but the grandstanding has been by a governor and by a Secretary of State that has refused to listen to the voices of the people. And now they want to steal 40,000 votes and put them in their back pocket as an insurance policy. And it just won't happen, not on our watch.
Let's have a song. Let's have a song.
Let us vote. Let us vote. Let us vote.
Let's have a song.
Let us vote. Let us vote.
Everything.
Let us vote. Let us vote.